against the blitz. He's going to be sacked. Chris Jones comes off the right side. Right side throw. It's caught. 15-yard line. 10, 5, touchdown. Kareem Hunt at the 10, angling to the 5, into the end zone, left side, and it is good. Here comes a rush, and he's going to go down. George Karlaftis.
I've been trying to find the right adjective. I'll use the one I used on the radio to close it out. Exhilarating. 30-17 over the Detroit Lions. Where do we start? Let's start with the 17 points allowed against a team that has been averaging between 34 and 35 points really for a year and a half. What a job by this defense to get it done against this high-flying Detroit offense.
Can I give you some more adjectives for tonight? Because I'm fired up. How about gutsy, tough, physical, and resilient here tonight? I think the Lions are maybe the toughest team in football, and the Chiefs came out here tonight on both sides of the ball, and they punched them in the mouth. And yeah, we'll talk about how resilient this performance was overall, but holding this Lions team that since week 2 has been averaging over 40 points per game to 17 points in this game, just an incredible performance all around.
Found it interesting. Detroit took the ball to start the game, but now we know why. They were trying to protect that defense, which is beaten up by down 5 corners and linebacker. But the fact that you hold them to a field goal in a strange set of circumstances, they had the ball for 9 minutes and 31 seconds. But the Chiefs offense avoided, for the most part, what affected them in the Jacksonville game, which was the empty possessions. Patrick Mahomes in this game, 3 touchdown passes and also 1 rushing. The red zone has been the touchdown zone for the Chiefs. They are crushing the red zone numbers right now.
And how about the juxtaposition of this game versus last week's game in terms of closing out the first half with a score and opening up the third quarter with a score? Because if you look at this game, the reason the Chiefs had that double-digit lead is because they were able to do the double dip, where they scored at the end of the first half and then scored to open up the second half. Didn't do that in Jacksonville last week. That's one of the main reasons we lost that game, is they had opportunities to kind of take control of it, and they couldn't do it. But the Chiefs continually answered in this game. And look at that double dip. The Mahomes touchdown run, it was like at a Super Bowl 54 with that little option run at the end of the first half. And to open up the second half with an 8-play, 81-yard touchdown drive was just incredible. 7 of 8 plays on that drive gained at least 9 yards. Awesome performance by this offense, especially after what happened last week in that exact situation.
I don't want to go any further and not mention the offensive line. The offensive line. Remember, Josh Simmons did not play in this game because of personal reasons. So Jalen Moore gets his 13th start. He's from Detroit. The kid grew up in Detroit. He's playing left tackle. Jawan Taylor had a heck of a game at right tackle. They were awesome in the Jacksonville game, the offensive line for the most part. They were better tonight. That offensive line had tonight, it was a night to eat for those guys.
And this is a Brett Veach game, in my opinion, because you lose Josh Simmons hours before the game. I mean, that's your blue chip left tackle. That's your guy. Pretty much any team in the league loses that guy before the game. And you have Aiden Hutchinson lining up on the other side. That's a major problem. Well, we have Jalen Moore on our team, who's ready to go, who is going to be this team's starting left tackle. If Josh Simmons wasn't drafted at 32 overall, he was ready for this moment here tonight. And throughout, Aiden Hutchinson really didn't disrupt much of anything. I mean, obviously got some pressure at times, but he didn't blow up this game, and Jalen Moore deserves a ton of credit.
Yeah, and Al-Quadin Muhammad's on the other side. He's had a big year, so the Chiefs' offensive line gets it done in an incredible way. There's a very happy Matt Nagy, by the way. Right now, the offense is cooking. The other thing, before we go to the podium, is the fact that the Chiefs had no penalties accepted against them. There was an offside penalty very late on Chris Jones. It was declined. Take that and contrast that to what happened last week against Jacksonville.
Yeah, we were talking about adjectives to describe this game. How about disciplined? And we talked about last week how that was not Chiefs football, to have 13 penalties in that game. The most for the Chiefs in a single game since the 2018 season. If the Chiefs only have like 10 penalties last week, they probably win. 13 penalties is not Chiefs football. And man, they turned it around here tonight against a very good Lions team to have 0 penalties called against them. That'll work.
Well, also will work as us going to the podium to get reaction.
Where is everybody? All right. I have no injuries to update you on. We came out pretty clean there. My hat goes off to our fans. What a great job they did. It's a tough place to play, and they truly are the 12th man in there, so we appreciate them a ton. Defensively and offensively, I thought the coordinators just had great game plans, and with the coaches, the assistant coach. I thought they did a nice job likewise. And then there were some good personal things that went on. Pat Mahomes, he had a great day, and then Kels, it was great to see him rolling 6 catches for 78 yards. Hollywood, getting him into the mix, and he did a nice job. Pacheco had a nice day, and all of that because the offensive line played well. Andy Heck does a heck of a job with that, no pun intended. And then 6.1 yards per play, which was great there. Defensively, Connor had 12 tackles, led the team in tackles. David does a great job with that secondary group there, and we ask him to do a ton. We play a lot of guys, and him getting those guys organized and going is a good. He did a nice job. Omenihu, that fourth quarter sack was big, but I thought they really bowed up the second half there. And Joe Cullen brings a lot of energy to the team and to that group, and did a good job there. So that goes off to those guys. And then we had one penalty, which was a positive. And then special teams, I thought our return game was good. We didn't have but one punt, so. And then we got Bucker a field goal, which was great, man. He did a nice job with that thing, drilled it. And all in all, a good night. I mean, I could keep going here, but it was one of those good nights. So, time's yours.
Andy, you mentioned the line right away. What did you see from Jalen Moore? How did that all play out?
Yeah, Jalen, I thought did a nice job. He just had a baby too, which is a great thing. So, last night or early this morning, however you want to put it. But he stepped in. Josh was gone for personal reasons, so for him to step in was a nice thing, and I thought he did a nice job. And tribute to Andy for rolling those guys during the week and getting that part done.
And when did you realize or understand you wouldn't have Josh, and when might you expect him back?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. You know, when he's back, he's got to take care of that, and then we'll see where it goes from there. But we were aware of it. Yeah.
You just learned today or last night?
Does it matter, Vahe?
Coach Reed,
Yeah.
how did y'all go from 13 penalties last week to 0 accepted this week?
Yeah, so penalties are kind of a crazy thing. So it's sometimes they come in waves. So I thought I thought the officials did a nice job, but I thought our guys did a nice job of correcting some of those, you know, with a good conscious effort to put forward there. So, yeah, it was a positive, though, really.
Andy, the initial fourth down you went for inside the 10-yard line, just take me through that decision.
Yeah, I mean, the decision, I thought it was the right thing to do, especially when you're playing a team that scores a lot of points. But I just thought it was the right way to go. Those are all subjective decisions. And then I know if you talk to the stats guy, they're going to tell you to go for about every fourth down. And Frazier does a good job of keeping it within reason. So, but listen, it was the right time to do that.
The way the offense has been playing last week, and then the way they had started out the game, does that make that decision? Does that kind of swing?
Yeah, well, sure. I mean, it helps when we're doing okay. Yeah, and that sure does. Yeah.
Andy, you mentioned the game planning offensively and defensively, but to what do you attribute kind of the surge in the last 3 weeks or so and how the offense has been?
Yeah, I know. I mean, I've said this, but getting one back was a big thing. Xavier brings a lot of energy, and he can do a lot of things for you. And then he has an attitude there that he brings, and getting Rasheed back in the building, I also think was a big part. I think they felt that they were whole again, at least by body there. So that was positive, having him back in the building.
And you also feel like Hollywood's kind of hitting its stride and what you might have thought.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. He had a nice day, 4 for 45, couple TDs. He's a good football player. He loves to play. So I'm trying to get him the ball in many ways. We had the jet sweep to him, which was good, and down in there in the red zone. So that was a helper.
Coach, their first drive was 15 plays, and they got down there and looked like they scored a touchdown. Were you aware of the teal hat?
Yeah, actually, the official told me right away what went on. So, yeah, But it was weird. You don't see that very often. It was a different kind of play, too. So they're very creative in what they do. And, that one, he didn't get set, so that was a problem.
A little weird and maybe ugly at the end of the game. What was your view of what happened out there afterwards with the scuffle?
Yeah, well, you guys saw it. I mean, it was, the guy came up and hit Juju for what looked like no reason. I mean, we're taking a knee, so, that's tough. I mean, put pretty good damage on Juju's nose.
Andy, you scored touchdowns there right before halftime and right after halftime. How big was that in the game?
Yeah, well, they deferred, so they gave us an opportunity to get the ball the second half. We were able to come out and score there, which I thought that was big. Anytime you come out that second half and move the ball a little bit, I think it helps everybody. And then the first half, it was a good drive. I can't say enough about, the Nagy's, the Blameyers, these guys that put that plan together, man. Connor and the whole group just had some good stuff. Todd Pinkston and his, De Leon, we've added into the mix here, and he gives us a nice perspective from the defensive side. And he's kind of gotten into the offensive part of it too, so that helps just with putting the game plan together. But I thought it was a thick game plan.
Andy, you mentioned Travis earlier, but can you elaborate a little bit on what you see about why he's so effective tonight, particularly?
I think he came back in great shape. I think he's been playing well all along. He particularly these last 3 weeks. So he came back in good shape, though. And at his age, that's important. That's a big thing.
Last one, Sam.
And you mentioned the offensive line, but not just protecting on each individual play, but just the impact of what they've done maybe the past couple of weeks.
Yeah.
You noticed that's had.
Yeah, you had asked me that before, and I agree with that they've gotten better as we've gone on. The young guys, or in this case, Jalen jumping in and doing his thing. So it's a good group, and they're physical. I think if you could take something away from this game, when they bear down, they can bear down. So that ends up being important.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, good.
Pacheco motioning left. Mahomes in the pocket, darts it near side, caught, touchdown! Kansas City! Hollywood Brown is having a night. And the Chiefs answer a touchdown with a touchdown to go up 26-17, 9:30 to go in the game.
It's been quite a week for Hollywood Brown. We're going to have you on Defending the Kingdom every week if this is the way it's going to be. You're starting to like the end zone stuff. You get 2 more tastes of the sweet nectar. What about your 2 touchdowns? Let's take them one at a time. The first one.
Oh, man, that sweep, we had that call last week, but we didn't get to it. So I knew, when I got that chance, to get it in the end zone. We set the bar for touchdown or nothing, so I'm happy to get in there.
And the second touchdown, you snatched the ball there. What happened there?
Man, that's a play I didn't even catch that all week. And I seen the coverage. I seen man coverage, and I'm like, no way they're going to be able to run across the field with me. Pat, got to me, and, that was amazing.
For this offense now, to string it together, it's really been since halftime of the Giants game. For the most part, you're just piling it on here offensively. Where's this offense at? And now you get Rashee Rice to join the party. Where can this go right now?
Man, we could be the best as we want to be. I mean, we got guys everywhere. We love each other. We plan for each other. We know every week could be different. It's only one football, so that don't change the way our mentality is. That don't change the way we play. We go out, play for each other, and I think that's why we're going to have so much success.
Mentally, to be strong in this game and physically against this Lions team, they score to get it within 3. You go right back to get an 81-yard touchdown drive. What about just being gritty and tough on that drive to answer 7 for 7?
That team is a great team. I mean, when we're not playing, I watch that offense. They got an explosive group. So for us, we know we want to be the best offense in the league, one of the best teams in the league. And so, we knew we had to answer. And guys, man, shout out to the O-line. They played a great game today, and, we went out and executed.
What about the O-line? Because Jalen Moore had to step in with Josh not playing, and Jawan Taylor, the guys all across. What about those guys?
Man, hats off to them, man. Those guys fight every day. They're a tough group, close group, and I'm happy for them.
You've had a pretty good week.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, Hollywood Brown, 2 touchdowns and a whole lot more.
Yeah, I think first off, it starts up front. I think our offensive line is doing a great job protecting and giving me time to evaluate stuff down the field. And I think Veach and Coach Reed have brought in a lot of receivers, a lot of weapons, tight ends, running backs that can make plays happen down the field. And so when the offensive line blocks like that, I've always said it makes my job a lot easier. And we've been able to distribute the ball. And then Coach Reed and Coach Nagy are calling great plays at the right time.
And speaking of that, can you just make a second touchdown by Hollywood and got the goal?
Yes. We had called a play where we actually thought they had like a little guy, not a little guy, one of their DNs drop, and we thought he was going to drop from the boundary, and we might get Pop open. But for him dropping underneath Pop, Hollywood was able to get across the field and score. Are you talking about the run play or the pass across the field? Yeah, he got across the field, and I was able to throw him the ball, and he won with speed. But that's part of the progression. You have to be able to recognize the coverages that they're in, and Hollywood did a great job getting open.
And just the last thing about Hollywood, how much do you feel like he's kind of in his stride, and that's also things up?
Yeah, I mean, I think with Hollywood, he's always had the talent. I mean, he's dealt with a lot of injuries, but when he's there, he plays hard. He understands the game, and he does a great job. And the great thing about this offense is it can come from everywhere. Obviously, Hollywood, Taekwon's had big games, Xavier's had big games, Travis, obviously, other guys, and then now we're getting Rasheed back. And so it's all about building depth. I think Veach has done a great job with that, and those guys love each other. That receiving room, they love each other, and they want each other to do good. And so when you have that mindset as a whole room, you can have a lot of success.
What do you think of going forward on the initial fourth down from the 6-yard line?
Yeah, no, we knew we had to have an aggressive mindset. They have an aggressive mindset as a team, and Coach Reed came in with the right mindset. We had talked about different plays that we liked, and other than 1 4th down, I thought we did a great job of executing at the right time. And so when Coach believes in us, man, it gives us more of a belief in ourselves, and guys made it happen, and we were able to get, I think there's like 2 or 3 of those 4th downs.
You mentioned you had some plays you liked. How did that play come about, and just how did it unfold on the field?
Yeah, I mean, we knew what coverages we could expect in that type of situations, and Xavier did a great job of winning one-on-one, and there was more options on the play, but whenever your first option is Xavier and he wins immediately and gets a touchdown, I mean, that's the type of guy he is. If he's in man coverage, he can win and get that open, and so it went from being a tightly contested throw to me kind of just lobbing it out there and letting him get in the end zone.
Is that the kind of thing that came together during the week, or?
Yeah, we talked through 4th down situations in certain parts of the field, and so Coach Reed we had talked through certain situations like that, and we knew a couple plays that we liked, and then you let Coach Reed and Nags call the plays at the right time, and they expected man, called a play that had a good man beater on there, and Xavier, you let a guy go out there and win, and he won.
Patrick, when did you know that Josh wasn't going to be here, and how Jalen did filling in?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't fully know. I mean, obviously, we'd walked through around noon, 1, whatever it was, and he wasn't there, so I knew something was up. And then talking with the coaches after, obviously a personal matter, but I have all the faith in the world in Jalen. I mean, he came here to do what he did today. I mean, go out there and go up against one of the premier pass rushers in the league and handle his own. And so that speaks to his professionalism, getting better and better through work throughout the week and being prepared to play at any moment. And he went out there and showcased the type of player that he is.
Talk about all those pieces that were brought in. It takes time for everything to gel. How do you guard against being patient, not getting frustrated, and expecting that eventually it's going to build?
Yeah, I mean, you could see it. You see spurts here and there throughout the beginning of the season of guys excelling. And, I mean, obviously you don't want injuries, but, I mean, it threw Hollywood and Taekwon in big moments and where they had to really progress even faster than we could expect, kind of like with Xavier the year before and Rasheed the year before that. And so now that we're adding those guys back, they all have the confidence that they can win their matchups and know how to work within the offense. And so it makes my job a lot easier. And when those guys up front are blocking like that, I have weapons everywhere that I can throw the football.
Patrick, you scored at the end of the first half and then at the beginning of the second. How big was that? And what stands out?
Yeah, no, it was huge. I mean, I think we learned from last week. Last week we got the ball out of half and we went 3 and out quickly, and it kind of gave the momentum back to the Jaguars. So we were very emphasized, and in the locker room we need to go out there and score and put the momentum back in our favor. And we were able to do that. And we got backed up and we didn't get going the way we wanted to. But it was important to get that lead back and get the momentum and get Arrowhead especially, get the crowd going, because it makes it difficult for that offense, any other offense, to go out there and do work.
Sam? Patrick, what do you think of what unfolded after the game?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it just kind of is what it is. You know, you just kind of move on. I mean, we won the football game. I thought we did a great job and played well, but now we were on to the Raiders.
Just related to that, I guess, though, it looked like you took exception with Hutchinson when he hit you after the whistle on that point. Was that part of what built up after the game?
I mean, you're playing football. I mean, you're being chippy. That's a physical football team, and they have a mentality that they come in to play with, and we're going to match that mentality. You know, we're not afraid to go up against anybody. I mean, that's the mentality Coach Reed brings every single day, and we're going to match the intensity of whoever steps on that football field.
Todd, Coach has mentioned several times that having Rasheed back in the building has been a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
On the practice field this week, what can this offense do?
I'm very excited. I mean, I'll just leave it there.
The last two, Patrick, speaking about the depth of the offense, seems like you've gained some trust with Rashard Smith. Talk to me a little bit about his development.
Yeah, he's done a great job, you know, being just kind of a weapon for us. I mean, he can run the ball from the backfield, but just getting the football in his hands, letting him make plays happen. I think him having the receiving and the running back background, you can use him in so many different ways. And so just like any rookie in this offense, it takes time for them to learn everything, the little things that happen, the little details. And so we'll keep giving him more and more chances to go out there and succeed. But he's definitely a playmaker. I think we'll get better and better as the season goes on.
Last one, Rob. Again, the win's the most important thing, but the fastest of 300 touchdown passes in this league. What's that mean to you?
No, it's extremely cool. I mean, I've been blessed. I always say it, and I mean it. Like, I've been blessed. I got drafted here in Kansas City, a great community, great ownership, and then getting one of the best football coaches of all time and some of the greatest players of all time around me. And so it makes my job a lot easier when I'm able to throw to some great ones. And let's continue it. Let's have some fun, and we've got a long career ahead, and we'll see how many we can get to.
Thanks, Patrick.
Brian Cook joins us now. The Chiefs win 30-17. That's right, 17. The Lions have been putting up video game numbers. What was the key in holding these guys down tonight?
Playing fast, playing as one, and everybody bought into the football. Simple as that, honestly.
Now, with Gibbs and Montgomery, when they get going, they're hard to stop.
Yeah.
What was the key there to keep them slowed down enough in the run game?
Like I said, 11 to the football. You know, I know we put a lot of stress on our defensive line as far as, you know, setting our gaps and things like that. But they're so dynamic as far as a good duo that, you know, we need 11 halves to the football every play. So I think we try to enforce that this week, and then obviously keep the success going, you know, for the weeks to come.
I know it sounds cliche, but people underrate the tackling ability of our DBs.
Yeah.
Corners, safeties, I don't care.
Yeah.
What about the tackling tonight? Because I didn't see a lot of missed tackles.
No, it's good. I think Coach Spags, every week he shows our missed tackles. Whether it's, you know, it's a high number or a low number. We want our efficiency, you know what I'm saying? So I think we shoot for like 90 or above. So this week, if he didn't see anything, that's probably good. We probably our first week with 100%. So I'm excited to see that rating for sure. But, you know, I think it's something that we going on each week. Every practice we have some tackling drill for that day, and then we go from there. So it's kind of stocking days, and then it translates to the game. So, you know, here we are holding a great offense to 17 points. Like, can't get out of that.
Really crazy. Their receivers, we know Amon-Ra St. Brown's one of the best in the business. Laporte is coming on. Mm-hmm. Williams is good. What about defending those guys in your coverages?
Just being sticky, you know, trusting our guys. I know we play, you know, some man, some zone. And, you know, just banking on what we do best. You know, we have a great set of guys. I know we don't get all the accolades, all the big names as far as DBs wise, but we play hard, we play physical, and we got some good skill set on the DB room for sure. So I trust them. No matter what the call is, we go out there, we execute.
This game, a big turning point was you holding fourth down. These guys loved it. How much did you have to have a fourth down defensive mentality going into the game in every drive?
Every time. Yeah, every time we went out there, we understand that it could potentially be a four-down situation. And then especially in the red zone, you know, they caught that one play that it definitely threw me off, I ain't gonna lie to you. But he was able to get the flag or whatever. But it's just, you know, they're very skillful, they're very smart, they're savvy too. A lot of trick plays as well. They're good at what they do, but at the same time, just, you know, just trying to figure out, you know, as far as like a mentality, just stopping them four downs is probably our biggest thing. And understand that every time we're not on the field, no matter the situation.
I'm going to close this way. David Montgomery, talk about trick plays. Thought he had a touchdown. This was your guy now.
Yeah.
This was their. He was their big deal quarterback there, right?
Yeah, he did. So that's why I know he went Cincy. They went to Cincy last week. I know he's, you know, obviously we're from Cincy, and he was able to get a touchdown. So happy for him. But then obviously this week when they pulled that play out, I was a little mad. I'm just like, come on, bro. Like, but I knew it was gonna happen eventually, so it was nice. But I love him. Love him to death. I'm giving him, obviously kudos to him for leading the way for me. He's been doing this for so many years. I'm trying to, not saying follow his footsteps, but I'm learning from him. We talk all the time, so it's nice to get my dub back. I know he beat us 2 years ago, so. I got something to talk about when I go back home.
Did he say he's proud of you at the after the game?
Yeah, for sure. I talk a little crap to him during the game, but it's our buddy love. We're from the same neighborhood. I said he's basically big bro to me, so it just always guys like that always keeps the game for me fun. You know what I'm saying? So
has he seen your Super Bowl rings?
No, he hasn't.
Okay. Brian Cook, heck of a game. The Chiefs hold the Lions to 17 points.
Yeah, man, it feels great. Obviously, thought we can play the run a little bit better, especially in the first half. I think the average somewhere close to 5 yards per carry. So as we keep going, got to be a little bit better at that. But I thought we played great today. Rush and the D-line and DBs working together, and then obviously the offense went out there and put points on the board and made them one-dimensional in that aspect. But yeah, I think we played pretty good today.
After the first drive especially, right?
Yeah.
15-play drive, you guys were out there for almost 10 minutes. Adjustments like after that one?
Yeah, we kind of talked about it during the week. They're pretty good in this league. I think they're 1 or 2 in the first 15 plays and scoring drives. First drive of the first half and second half, putting points on the board. So we understood that they got a good first 15, and I'm just kind of just riding the wave. And then after that, kind of see what they got, locking on our checks and keys, and go from there. But yeah, they did everything we expected them to do on the first 15. Mix it up a little bit, run pass, work the perimeter, get some guys, their key guys involved, and a little bit of trick plays in there too.
What do you like where the defense is right now, and what do you see improved as you go here?
Yeah, man, I think honestly, I think we're doing pretty good. Every weekend a little bit better, but just run defense as we continue, especially in the back half of this year. It gets a little colder outside, man. Got to be able to stop the run.
Did you know that rule on the paired touchdown with Goff? Did you know that was?
Yeah, I knew it was a legal shift rule, but honestly, I didn't know the flag was going to get called on that play because it's so far past. But yeah, I do know about the rule in that particular defense. We didn't have that covered, but yeah.
Did you spot it though? I mean, did you know that they had violated the rule at that point?
I figured he had to get set, but where my eyes and vision were, kind of my keys had me in a different location at the time.
Felt like a big break at that point though?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Our crowd kind of went dead there for a little bit after they scored, and then got a field goal on that drive. Offense was out there and scores, and our crowd was into it, and it kind of just rode the wave after that.
How much, when the offense comes out and gets that touchdown to go up 20-10, how much does that put pressure on them? And then they kind of seemed like they got away from the run a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I kind of missed that a little bit earlier, but our offense putting points on the board, maybe past the ball, had to go chase points a little bit, kind of got them out of their early run game. They're big run the ball first and second down, so getting a good play on first down, second down, forcing the pass kind of helps us out in terms of how our defensive makeup is for sure, and yeah, we kind of use that to our advantage second half.
How do you explain being able to go from having 13 penalties last week to 0 penalties as a team tonight?
Yeah, just details. Coach Reed kind of harped on it as soon as we got done with the game last week, and on a short week, kind of keeping things kind of familiar, but we could change the penalties, and that's kind of the big thing we harped on early in the week, and just have to come out there and execute, kind of play good, clean football.
Nick, not only to hold them 17 points, but no fourth down conversions. Obviously, it's a point of emphasis for this team. How are you guys able to do that?
Yeah, kind of mixed up looks on them a little bit. We play some man, play some zone. Rush kind of working together with the coverage. I think obviously having 4th down and 2 or longer ones kind of helps us out a lot. So we just got to make sure we can continue to do that.
What did you see in that sort of skirmish after the game, and what's that like when you have to deal with something like that?
Yeah, obviously, well, for me, I was on the sideline getting my tape cut off, so I turned around and kind of missed everything. But big picture for us, man, to make sure the guys are safe and available for us next week. That's kind of our mindset was, make sure our quarterback's good and make sure our guys taken care of.
Last one, anybody? You mentioned the DBs. Shamari had 12 tackles tonight. That was a career high for him. I've just kind of seen him, grow into that role and kind of develop this year.
Yeah, he's a tweener guy, so he can play safety, corner, DB, kind of plays a little bit of everything for us. So having that guy kind of gain confidence as he keeps going, and we use him a lot of different ways. Just a versatile guy, key piece for our defense, and he's continue to grow and continue to get better.
Thank you, everybody.
Yep, thank you. Appreciate it.
Chiefs get the victory 30-17 over the Lions to get to 3-3. But let's talk Patrick Mahomes here. So easy to take it for granted. Mentioned 3 touchdown passes, 1 touchdown rushing, but those 3 touchdown passes. He's now over the 300 touchdown pass threshold, counting the playoffs. He is the fastest to get to that mark of any quarterback in National Football League history, doing it in his 139th game. He was as good tonight as maybe he's been in a long time, but now you think both that and this Jacksonville game together, Patrick Mahomes is humming.
This was an MVP performance here tonight. He was unbelievable. He was surgical throughout this game, and he was not going to accept defeat. He goes 22 of 30 for 257 yards, 3 touchdowns through the air, also rushed for a touchdown, had a passer rating of 132. And what I love about this game is the Chiefs just kept answering no matter what was happening on the Lions side. So think about when Sam Laporta caught that incredible touchdown in the fourth quarter that pulled them within 3 points. You know, that's when the Lions are starting to feel the momentum of the game going their way. Mahomes says, don't worry, I'm just going to lead a 9-play, 69-yard touchdown drive, ends in a 3rd down pass to Hollywood Brown, ends in the end zone. The Chiefs were 4 of 6 on 3rd down in the second half, and that's Patrick Mahomes right there.
And even 4th down conversions, they get the first touchdown of the game on a 4th down and 3.
Yeah.
But the play calling was also outstanding. But Mahomes, him getting stripped of the ball and jumping on it, looked like Aiden Hutchinson had the ball for a minute, and then he gets the ball back. It was very similar to the play against the Giants. Right now, Patrick Mahomes is doing everything, and people go, well, he's not putting up 400 yards. He's doing way more than that with this team, and he is, he's excited. He's going to get Rashee Rice.
Oh, yeah.
He'll finally have, going into the Raiders game, he'll finally have, for the first time that we thought we would have in 2024, because it could be Rice and Worthy and Hollywood Brown. Oh, and then throw in Tyquan Thornton and Jalen Royals and go. Juju was great.
Yeah.
Juju was awesome tonight. And so there's just so many weapons right now for the Chiefs.
Let's talk about some of the guys that stepped up. I mean, Travis Kelce, he was great tonight. That was vintage Travis Kelce tonight. He catches 6 passes for 78 yards in this game. Juju, you mentioned him, 3 catches for 57 yards. And Hollywood Brown, 4 catches for 45 yards and 2 touchdowns. Let's just have Hollywood on Defending the Kingdom every single week now. I guess I fired him up.
Yeah, I think he got baptized this week, too.
Yeah.
So, and then Noah Gray had a double-digit play. So the Chiefs had a lot of guys touch it. Let's go quickly now as we wrap it up. It's not just any week, it's Raiders week. Get till midnight tonight. But here come the Raiders for a noon game.
Yeah, let's get ready for the Raiders. Big divisional game coming up. Opportunity to get above 500. But, man, 3-3 feels pretty great here tonight. And look at this stretch and all the things the Chiefs have had to deal with over the last 6 weeks. Going to Brazil, starting 0-2. Some tough luck, some tough finishes. Well, they beat the Ravens. They beat the Lions here tonight. And we're 3-3. Let's go take on the Raiders. I'm going to enjoy tonight, though.
Yep, everybody enjoy tonight. Andy Reid gets his 29th win on Sunday Night Football. That's an all-time NFL record. It's Raiders week.
Chiefs Rewind is brought to you by Ford, the official car and truck of the Kansas City Chiefs, and by CommunityAmerica Credit Union, the official banking partner of the Kansas City Chiefs.